How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about a class action lawsuit against FTX and the founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, for $11 billion. Right? A lot of people put in investments for FTX, FTT tokens, all this stuff, and now they're involved in a huge class action lawsuit, $11 billion. Also, this involves a bunch of celebrities that were shilling for FTX and Bankman-Fried. This lawsuit was filed in Florida, the Sunshine State, paradise of Florida. Names include Tom Brady, Gisele Bündchen, Shaquille O'Neal, no, Shaq, Steve Curry, and Larry David. Remember those Larry David commercials? They were kind of funny, but maybe the character of Larry David in the commercials, he was right. So the lawsuit claims Bankman-Fried and the celebrities are the ones responsible for the $11 billion because, of course, they're all in on the scam. Granted, I'm not so sure that some of these celebrities were in on it, considering they were also invested, right? Like Tom Brady or his ex-wife. The suit filed by class action attorney Adam Moskowitz alleges that they're collectively responsible for many billions of dollars in damages, of course, for the giant freaking scam. So Bankman-Fried, who was touted as this crypto genius dude who was supposedly the most generous billionaire. What a load of BS, right? This guy was Mother Teresa of crypto. Come on. One person that could not be fooled was Elon. He called Sam's basically pitch to try to help him and be involved in the Twitter deal. He wanted to put in roughly $3 to $5 billion. He called it BS. And he didn't even think he had the money to begin with. Of course he didn't. Everything was over leveraged, and a lot of this money has disappeared. Nobody knows. This guy's probably on a plane to Argentina or Dubai or somewhere with no extradition. Anyways, back to the lawsuit. Even the famed Naomi Osaka took an equity stake with the crypto exchange back in March this year. Oh, I forgot about this one. Kevin O'Leary. Oh, scammed. He helped in the scam. That does not look good. Anyways, all these people are described in the 41 pages as parties who either controlled, promoted, or assisted in, actively participated in FTX's operations, allegedly in a breach of Florida law, to scam people. The suit adds the deceptive and failed FTX platform was based upon false representations and, of course, deceptive practices to screw everyone out of their money. Now, the crazy part is that the lawyer is saying that many incriminating FTX emails and texts have already been destroyed by the participating parties. That is pretty interesting. He says that they located them, and they are evidence of how FTX's fraudulent scheme was designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors from across the country utilizing just the simple app. And I know personally quite a bit of people who did put in money in FTX's app, and they got royally. Now what's crazy is Tom Brady and his supermodel wife, right? They joined the company's, get this, $20 million ad campaigns in 2021. That is a lot of money to lure unsophisticated investors, supposedly unsophisticated investors, into the scam. Steph Curry is a basketball player. In one commercial, he's there. He was singled out during the lawsuit for appearing in an ad campaign in which he says he doesn't need to be a crypto expert just to buy and sell, right? With FTX, he has everything he needs to buy, sell, and trade crypto safely. Wow, that didn't work out so well, did it? In a damning sentence in the lawsuit, right, it says here, deceptive FTX platform maintained by the FTX entities was truly a house of cards, a Ponzi scheme where FTX entities shuffled customers' funds through their opaque affiliate entities, i.e. Alameda, using investor funds obtained through investments in the yield-bearing accounts and loans to pay interest to the old ones and to attempt to maintain the appearance of liquidity, which of course they had none. They go on to say that they're using the biggest names in sports and entertainment to raise funds and drive the American consumers to invest in these accounts, right? Then they took that money, they offered and sold it largely from the FTX entity's domestic base of operations in Miami, Florida, pouring billions of dollars into the deceptive FTX platform to keep the whole scheme afloat. Now, a lot of the entities were filed in Miami. Now that explains why the lawsuit, class action lawsuit, is taking place in Florida. Now while all this is happening, this crazy madman, right? He's literally going nuts on Twitter. On Wednesday, he says, a few weeks ago, FTX was handling $10 billion a day, volumes and transfers. But now there was too much leverage. More than I realized, a run on the bank and market crash exhausted liquidity. What the heck is this guy talking? Usually if you're under investigation, you're in a class action lawsuit, multiple investigations actually, you would probably shut your mouth. So this is a little insane on Bankman-Fried's part, because when you're facing all these multitude of investigations, multitude of lawsuits, billions and billions of dollars just disintegrated, right? Hidden somewhere. I'm sure it's in a lot of shell companies somewhere. But anyways, the point is, when all this stuff is happening, the last thing you want to do is go venting on Twitter. When facing crazy jail time, this guy is blabbing on Twitter. Why? At the same time, he's looking for capital. He's begging different companies for more money, which makes it even stranger. That's the part to me that makes no sense. Why would his lawyers not advise him to keep his mouth shut when all this crazy stuff is happening? So if you're a crypto fraud, you can just blab on about everything. Maybe it's because he's buddy-buddy with Clinton or those celebrities. Who the hell knows? So an example of some of the weird things that this guy is saying. In a series of tweets, right? Among other things, he says he was on the cover of every magazine. FTX was the darling of Silicon Valley. What an a-hole. We got overconfident and careless. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They got overconfident and careless. So here he kind of tries to go and explain what happened. And it's just so bizarre. Number 20, he's got these lines. 20, I was on the cover of every magazine. FTX, darling of Silicon Valley. We got overconfident. 21, and problems were brewing, larger than he realized. Leverages were up. 5 billion of leverage, backed by 20 billion of assets. Man, what a clown. 22, and that risk was correlated with the other collateral. It just makes no sense. And then the crash came. In a few day period, there was a historic crash, over 50% in most correlated assets, with no bid side liquidity. And of course, there's a run on the banks. There's a run for people to get their money out. And then they stopped. They couldn't do it. They couldn't fulfill the withdrawals. 23, 25% of customer assets were withdrawn each day, $4 billion. As it turned out, I was wrong. Leverage wasn't $5 billion, it was $13 billion. $13 billion. This guy's a professional. So strangely enough, he ends this whole Twitter rage with line 24, shrapnel. Hey buddy, those people that lost millions of dollars in some cases, it wasn't just shrapnel. Some of these people were investing their life savings, you know? There's so many crooks out there, so many shills, so much BS. This is why, I mean, it's funny, this guy has no self-awareness. There's no part in any of this where he addresses any of the disappearing funds, any of the stolen money, or the catastrophic investments that this guy was making in his own entities, okay, like Alameda. Maybe Michael Saylor was right. It's better to be a Bitcoin maximalist if you want to play around with this stuff. Well, like Nick Cave said, some people are just no good. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Smash like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Did anybody out there hear me? Hear me? Did anybody out there